Welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy 2. Woo, it's time for desert levels.
This is not a very interesting level aesthetically for me. I mean,
It's
deserts usually never
desert.
are, but I mean, desert can work. They can.
Yeah,
Deserts are
think about,
boring.
think about all those other awesome desert levels, like Sandopolis Zone and Sandy Desert. And
I seem to remember having more fun with the desert level in Galaxy 1 than I do with this one.
The desert level in Galaxy 1 wasn't my favorite either, but that's just because the desert level in Galaxy 1 is one of the only levels. Oh, the music in this level is very good. But the desert level in Galaxy 1, I remember, was one of the only levels in the game that had 7 stars because it had a secret star and a secret green star. On top of the 3 normal levels and the comet levels and all that stuff. So
Mario, if you're going to tease me with conversation, then don't. Fuck off.
Then why are you here in the first place?
This dull, monotonous sand pit. It speaks to me. I don't like this place.
Don't worry, Luigi fans. You're going to see playable Luigi in time. After all, how else would we make the Green Star run any different?
I suppose we could make it a BrainScratch.com sing-along.
It's the only interesting thing I like about the desert level in this game is actually the contrast between the dull, monotonous sand and the purplish nebula in the background.
Yeah,
You know, it's interesting when they're placed against each other, but it's like after that, it's just
It's sand.
it's sand.
yeah. There's definitely something aesthetically pleasing about a desert night, like something mystical and stuff. You know.
Hey, you know what? Crash Bandicoot. I was gonna say Wrath of Cortex, but that's the 4th one. Warped. You had the nighttime desert levels, and they're more interesting only because they're blue and
Yeah.
not.
You know, it presents a mystical feeling that, you know, Arabian Nights kind of thing, as opposed to just desert.
Well,
I definitely enjoy that.
Well, I mean, it's not like deserts are completely, like, you can only just do stuff with sand. Especially if you integrate, like, architecture and stuff, like, you could do a lot with Egyptian-themed buildings, you could do a lot with Arabian-themed buildings. You know, those are very interesting and unique cultures. So you can do stuff with it, it's just, if you're just trying to stick with sand and maybe a pyramid,
You know,
there's not a lot to work with.
90%, if not more, of the Disney's Aladdin game on the Sega Genesis was a desert level. But that was pretty interesting. Anyway.
This is the level I immediately thought of when I played Lost World, the Sonic Lost World.
Yes, I thought of it too.
And I went to Sky Road, and I was like, wow, they're not even being subtle anymore.
They were being subtle in the first place.
Yeah, I know, but
I like how these Rolling Stones have happy faces on them.
I can't remember if they're Crush or if they just hit you.
I think they're crushers.
Okay.
let's not find out.
Yeah, this sliding into the camera sequence is pretty creative, though. I will give it that. Especially
Crash did it first, in a sense.
especially the way it narrows out at the very end there, which is surprisingly easy to get through. But
at the very least, they try to make the level interesting.
it certainly makes your palms sweat when you realize what's happening. But then
You know what I find more interesting that I think those towers you see in the background. You know, they're so tall and ominous. You don't really, but they just serve as a backdrop.
You never go
What
there.
in the hell is this thing?
I have no fucking clue, but this is a pathetically easy boss.
It looks like
Yeah.
it belongs in a Wario game rather than a Mario game. It's the eyes, I think.
You want to know the strategy to this? Grab the fire flower and just fucking waggle the Wiimote until Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Like Ryan's already put too much effort into this fight, but not continuously spamming the fire flower. Just
Like
spam it, man.
Well,
Like,
when his mouth is open.
I have to wait for his mouth to open, yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like, you constantly spam the fireball, nothing will hurt you, not even his projectiles.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, don't do that. You don't have to time it. Just keep spamming.
Well, the timing, even if you try to time it, the timing is not particularly special either. So, no trouble there.
The way he had his mouth over his hands looked like he had really bad heartburn. Well, I mean, he probably does, because we're literally throwing fire into his mouth, but,
Some sort of golem bird.
You get nudged off your platform there, and you will lose some time, though, because you can't really get out of it all that quickly.
Oh.
My everything.
I do like that they like one cool thing with the boss music though is that the Fireflower music is part of the boss fight when you have the Fireflower wings.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They didn't know that, Firefly was going to be repeating on loop for like every 15 seconds, so...
Oh shoot! How am I supposed to get up there?
Oh, thank God.
Gravity.
Yeah, this is Mario Galaxy. He just wills his way up there.
Fortunately, the sand all stops moving once the power star appears.
It was powering the sand pit.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm
Or
not.
it could have been the boss's chocolate multi-milk balls, so...
Eh.
And maybe the power star had turned into a power black hole and was sucking up the sand.
Oh, I
Well,
was
if
expecting you to say sucking up the joy.
if it became a black hole, then it wouldn't be a star anymore.
Yeah, that means we brought the star back to life.
Shit, there goes the galaxy again.
Yeah, frickin' gravity waves, man.
What the hell are those even supposed to be? Like, all I know is that
I-
they're in the news. And
Speaking
stuff.
I
of-
don't know.
Speaking of Gravity Rush, actually came out on the PlayStation 4 recently.
Oh, it took it out from the depths of the Vita.
Cactars,
Yeah,
no!
I actually recommend that to anyone who's interested in any sort of game where you fly around as a main mechanic, because it's a very good game. And now it's on consoles instead of a handheld that nobody owns.
The black hole.
So is it like Knights, then?
Ish, sort of. It's
Okay.
difficult to explain. You alter the flow of gravity in order to fall in whatever direction you want, essentially.
Huh.
Oh, they brought this track back. I'm so happy. This underground ambience. It doesn't last very long, but I love it.
Eh.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, I make it a lot shorter than it needed to be, so.
Yeah.
Did you already play these levels beforehand? Because I noticed that the blue trail is in the sky, and that only generates...
No, this is a fresh file completely.
Huh.
No, but we replayed the levels, though. Because he's right. Those blue trails don't appear unless you've already taken the launch star, which means you're editing out deaths or
Oh,
editing
John,
out takes.
look, it's the
They
same...
brought back the fucking Sandbird from Sunshine! But, well, it's not quite the same.
Well, but
like
no red
sand
coins.
No red coins, no blue coins.
No wonky as hell physics.
Yeah, it's not turning. It's just really fragile.
Eh.
It's almost like it's made of sand or something.
I don't mean that just in the sense that it's not turning, though. I mean, Sunshine had a really fucking fucked up physics engine.
You can never tell with slopes in Sunshine how far you're able to go before you start sliding.
Yeah.
Riot, no, his spine can only handle so much.
But you know what? That's also why I fucking dived a lot in that game. Because if Mario dives on a steep incline, he starts running along it really fast.
Yeah.
And it seems to ignore slope physics. So...
This is where this particular Sandbird gets, well, more like Manta Ray. It gets really, dangerous about when it regenerates its
Well, of
blocks.
course, it's
Oh, come on, what happened to the speed you were doing earlier? Just get me to the star.
Yeah, this is where the Chain Chomp gets smart. Like, it's...
No, that's where the Sandbird gets dumb.
Hey,
He's right. It's going at a brisk pace for the whole adventure. Then it starts to slow down when it gets to. It hates power stars. That's what it is.
no, it needs to slow down so we can safely stop at the port, John.
We ain't fucking parallel parking. It's made of sand.
Whoosh.
Totally unnecessary backflip.
Guys, we made it through that entire level without making that Star Wars reference. I'm really proud of
I was
us.
kind of waiting for you to do it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I do it too much.
It's like, nah, bro. I'm cool.
Well, we still have an opportunity to. We still have the comment medal for it.
Meh. I'm not going to be doing it at the very least.
I'll have forgotten the reference by the time we get back there.
Dude, you want to forget it.
Oh, this is when they...
Shiverbird.
Oh, yeah, they bring back King Caliente. No, it's his kid. for some reason.
It's Prince Picantes.
The Shiverburn Galaxy never struck me as quite as memorable as Freeze Flame.
It's way more straightforward.
Well,
Yeah.
the Freeze Flame had that. No, wait. Am I thinking of Freeze Flame or am I thinking of a different level where it had that really big open area in the icy half? Was that an icy?
I think that was. I think that was Freeze Flame. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Freeze Flame.
Okay. I see you're going the fuck you level approach.
Oh yeah. That's why I love Cloud Mario.
Why should I take my time when I can just go now?
But this is cool though. I mean, Shiverburn does use the mixture of fire and ice more than what Galaxy 1 did.
At the very
Because remember, Freeze Flame was ice, then hot, and then ice again, and then like it
Yeah.
randomly decides to join the two at the very end of a boss fight.
No,
Yeah.
the last level is ice and then hot together, and I do think that the Comet Medal was one of the most unique ones in the game, where you had to guide the rolling ball through on the ice platforms
Yeah.
through the lava area, which was cool.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't a boss fight. It was a race.
Of
Oh, so-
course, one of the stars in the fire plus ice level is just Whack-A-Mole game, which has nothing to do with the level theme.
I like how you worded that as fire plus ice and not fire and ice, because that would probably bring up a Sonic Boom reference.
See
Well,
if you
I'm
can
trying
beat
to
this
avoid
awesome game.
Well, you know, if you're gonna play off the fire and ice, you could always go George R.R. Martin and be really creative. Does
Yeah,
anyone?
I don't read his work, so I
Well,
don't know what
you don't
mean.
have to. His books were the basis for the Game of Thrones HBO show.
Yeah. I know who the guy is, but I don't read any of his work.
Well, yeah, the title of the series is A Song of Ice and Fire, I think.
Yeah.
Ah.
So if somebody asks you, do you read the
Yeah,
Game of Thrones books? That's how you know they're a filthy casual.
Yeah, the show Game of Thrones is named after the first book in the series, which is called A Game of Thrones. But it's only the first book that's called that. I forget what the other titles are though. I haven't read the series myself.
That kind of reminds me of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That was only the name of the
Second book.
second book.
Yeah.
Oh, only the second book? What was the first
Yeah.
one called then?
Scott Pilgrim's. I'll just look it up real quick. But I only know the first book was called Versus the World. The fourth one was Versus the Universe. And then it was like Scott Pilgrim gets together.
Is that the one
Yeah.
where Steve Pilgrim gets into a massive battle royale with the cast of Steven Universe?
No, I don't think so. The first one was Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life.
Oh, okay.
Precious.
Precious? Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings reference over there. Scott Pilgrim, Precious Little Life, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness, Scott Pilgrim Gets It Together, Scott Pilgrim vs. the Universe was Volume 5, and Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour was the last one.
I never had any interest in reading Scott Pilgrim or watching the movie.
Oh, you never seen the movie?
It's
Nah.
good.
I think you like it.
It's
Like, if you're not gonna read, Ted, I see you not really enjoying the books, but I think you'll like the movie.
Well, my thing with Scott Pilgrim was that it always seemed like it was. I hate using the phrase "trying too hard" because I don't.
Well, that's my complaint with the books after Volume 4.
It just kind of seemed like, oh look, we're making video game references because that's what we do now, and I didn't see.
Nah, but the movie was directed by Edgar Wright. Have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz?
I know
Or-
that he was gonna direct Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
Marvel screwed him over, yeah.
Did you? But you ever see any of his films?
Nope.
Oh my goodness, Ted, you're missing out.
Eh.
I think you'll really like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the movie.
Eh.
It's on my radar, but it's not really my genre, so I'm just sort of waiting for myself to be in the mood and to have the extra cash.
Why do you guys not like having fun?
I'll probably end up watching the Watchmen before I get around to Scott Pilgrim, though.
Watch both.
Nah,
Well, I
you can
mean,
only like one thing,
I'll
John.
I'll watch them both eventually, but I see myself getting to the Watchmen before I get to Scott Pilgrim. and I see myself getting to Guardians of the Galaxy before I get to the Watchmen.
Well, as somebody who's read Watchmen, I actually have very little interest in seeing the movie, personally. Like, I heard that it's an okay adaptation, but, like...
It does the job.
It's, honestly, I don't think that Watchmen's cracked up. Like, I don't think Watchmen lived up to the hype, personally. Because, like,
I don't care about the hype. I just want to see it at some point.
Eh.
Like, if I cared about the hype, I would have seen it already.